Hey Vikings fans and Packer fans, or football fans in general, welcome to my post-game review of the Minnesota Viking and Green Bay Packer wildcard playoff game that happened earlier tonight. And yeah, definitely this has been an eye-opener especially for the Minnesota Vikings. To put this game in one word, wild. For those of you that did not know, last week Christian Ponder hurt his elbow in the game against the Green Bay Packers. He's been having problems all week long, and earlier today, it was determined that he could not play in the game, and so the backup quarterback, Joe Webb, became the starting quarterback for tonight's playoff game. And before I get into any more of the game, I have to ask all the Christian Ponder haters out there, do you miss him now? Even if you don't miss him now, you're probably sitting in your home in silence. And really, that's where everything went wrong for the Minnesota Vikings. And first of all, nobody can really blame Joe Webb for his performance tonight, considering the fact he did not play at all this entire season, and his experience is next to nothing at quarterback. You cannot put blame on this guy. But the reason why the Vikings lost, the Achilles heel tonight, was the fact that the experience of Joe Webb wasn't there. There was no experience. There was many opportunities that this Vikings offense had. If Christian Ponder had been there, there would have been a lot more conversions, a lot more passes completed, and it definitely would have been a different game. Would the Vikings have won? I have no idea. But you have to think, if Christian Ponder was the quarterback tonight, this game would have been more interesting and been a much more tough fight for the Green Bay Packers. But saying that, the Green Bay Packers really did an effective job. They were a lot more patient and confident and really effective against Adrian Peterson. Now, Adrian Peterson, yes, did get 99 yards, but it's a hell of a lot better than 210 or 199. So the defense really stepped up and contained Adrian Peterson well. The one good thing you can say about the Minnesota Viking defense is that they really protected against the deep pass of Aaron Rodgers, because that's what he's known for. He just can lob it just way downfield and just tear up defenses like Swiss cheese. But the thing is, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback no matter what. And he really chipped away at the Vikings by throwing it, mid or short range, and the Vikings just could not stop that. Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't matter where you're putting all this protection or where you're putting all the coverage, it doesn't matter. If Aaron Rodgers finds some space to deliver a strike, he's going to get it. And that's what makes Aaron Rodgers one of the greatest quarterbacks in the game today. And Mike McCarthy, as I put on Twitter, he is like the James Bond of coaching. On one hand, he is really arrogant, and on the other hand, he is really brilliant. Why is he arrogant? It's because you're going on 4th down when you're up by a touchdown earlier in the game, and why are you even risking it? But on the other hand, he's brilliant because he knows how to read a defense. He knows how to beat teams. He's got the talent, he's got the players, he's got the plays. This man has a whole bunch of tricks up his sleeves. Going back under Joe Webb, he threw for 30 passes, only 11 completions, about 180 yards, 1 touchdown. That was pretty much a gift, to be honest with you. And then there was 1 big interception as well as a fumble from Clay Matthews. And Clay Matthews was just absolutely unstoppable in this game. Now, J.J. Watt, he may win Defensive Player of the Year, but you gotta look at Clay Matthews and what he did in tonight's game. If he repeats any of the stuff he did tonight, he can easily be a Defensive Player of the playoffs. With 2 sacks, a forced fumble, okay, now to be honest, that 1 sack, that was a gift. Joe Webb just pretty much backed up. Clay Matthews is on the ground, and he tripped over him, and he gets the sack. So apparently Clay Matthews is so good that he just needs to lie down and still get a sack. Now, for all you Packer fans out there, you're probably out there saying, yes, we beat the Minnesota Vikings, that yes, so we are the better team, and I'm not going to argue that fact, but you cannot say that based on what we had today. Yes, you did beat us. Yes, you did well. But the problem is, you were not facing the same Minnesota team you faced a few days ago. A few days ago, we had a lot of momentum. We had Christian Ponder at quarterback. And the thing is, if he was quarterback, the situation of this game would have been different. I believe that this game would have been a lot more intense, the score would have been much closer, and both teams would have to literally scratch and crawl just to get a win today. So yes, the Packers did win, and you did play well. Everybody played well, but the thing is, you cannot really truly say that you are the better team based on what you did today. But I will say that, yeah, you are the better team. And now the thing is, I feel bad as a Viking fan, because if you look at it, if anybody watched the whole 9 yards with Adam Sandler, the warden of the prison asks him, "What can I do to get my guards, my football team of guards, to do better in their bracket, whatever football league they're in?" And Adam Sandler says, "Well, it's relatively simple. You need a tune-up game." And that's exactly what this game was. The Minnesota Vikings, they were crippled at quarterback with putting Joe Webb in there, and pretty much just didn't have any momentum with Joe Webb, and pretty much it gave the Green Bay Packers a tune-up game. So the Green Bay Packers were able to do a whole bunch of plays. They got a feel of what plays could work, what plays could not work, and really they were just so effective, and they were able to get the mentality and the momentum they need to go deep into the playoffs. Now with this win, the Green Bay Packers, I feel that they can make a deep push in the playoffs, if not even get into the Super Bowl. I feel that the Vikings have given the Green Bay Packers the tools they need to win 2 Super Bowls within 3 years. But tonight, the Green Bay Packers did an awesome job against the Minnesota Vikings. They just slaughtered them. They knew exactly what they needed to do. Great job for the secondary and the defensive line to hold Adrian Peterson under 100 rushing yards. But now, as the Green Bay Packers go ahead into the playoffs, the Minnesota Vikings must ask themselves, what can we do to improve this team? Well, obviously, the first thing I would say is need to get more talent at wide receiver to give Christian Ponder more opportunities so he can be a better success at quarterback and to make bigger offensive plays. The secondary might need a little bit more help. Harrison Smith has done a great job this year. He's definitely going to be a great asset to this team for many years to come, but there still needs to be some work done. And lastly, I think the Minnesota Vikings, they need a little bit more help on special teams. Although Marcus Sherrill has done well this year, tonight there were a few problems and lost a fumble because of that. But ultimately, the Vikings have improved greatly compared to last year, but there is still room for improvement, and we're just glad that this team has come back from a 3-13 season to go 10-6. The healthy return of Adrian Peterson, who almost got Aaron Dickerson's rushing record in a season. Ultimately, this was, I would consider, a successful year. I would believe next year we're going to see some better stuff from Christian Ponder as well as Adrian Peterson, who's sure to come back probably even better than ever. And hopefully we can get a bit more talent at wide receiver. But all in all, a great season from the Minnesota Vikings. But tonight, the Green Bay Packers really exploited the fact that we had a quarterback who's just inexperienced, and they really did a swell job at containing Adrian Peterson, only rushing for 99 yards. And that will do it for this post-game review. Thank you all for watching. If you followed me on Twitter during the game, I thank you for that too. I'm off to go save the world, and I will see you guys next time.